Hello everyone! So this is part 2 of my conversation with Seng Henk. Now in this part of the conversation we talk about arts education, we talk about the representation of ethnic minorities in the arts in general, and we talk a little bit more about his experience rehearsing, being on stage, and the differences between touring and being a resident in the city. Now just one content call out that I have to make here. So we talk a little bit about, or we reference this writer who recently criticized Penguin, as in the Penguin publisher, the Penguin's decision to increase representation of works by ethnic minorities in the novels that they publish. And I couldn't remember the name of the writer offhand, but the writer is Lionel Schreiber, so you can read about that online. So I hope you enjoy part 2 of the conversation, and of course, look out for part 3 as well.
Was the Aladdin actually of, Arabic descent or something, or
I just thought...
Middle Eastern descent?
No, I don't know. I mean, we do have people of Middle Eastern descent in the cast.
But was the casting basically a white guy that they colored brown?
No,
Okay.
he's not.
Okay.
But the thing is, so with this production, with Aladdin at least, they really wanted to make it diverse.
Because that's the trend now, right?
Yeah. And that wasn't even just a trend. It's just.
It's just right thing to do, I know. But it's also the trend now.
To be honest, it's just, I think they just wanted to reflect what society was like, and I think they knew that the repercussions if they casted a lot of full white cast for Aladdin, that would be a bit strange. So it's not, they don't really have a lot of white people on the cast. And so Dean John Wilson, he was the Aladdin when I was there. He's actually doing King and I now at London Palladium.
Okay.
You watched it, right?
I've not watched King and I, but I've seen the posters everywhere.
Yeah,
My brother watched it in New York.
Kelly O'Hara, Ken Watanabe.
So he actually did it in New York. They both did it in New York.
Yes.
I think they won Tony for Revival. Might not have.
I just know that Ken Watanabe is a Tony Award nominee and Kelly O'Hara is a Tony Award winner.
Yes.
That's because I saw it on the poster today. Yes. When I was in London.
It's on a train everywhere you go.
I'm horrible at remembering information. It's just because I saw that thing today.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people actually from Miss Saigon actually moved over because you only have a limited amount of Asian people.
So okay, I think I told you this on Instagram or something, but I watched Hamilton in Chicago. Okay, the Hamilton was actually the understudy of the understudy of Lin-Manuel, and then he took on the Chicago role. But the Burr was played by a Vietnamese American guy. I think it's a Vietnamese American guy. And it was the first time I had seen an Asian person on the Broadway production in the principal character, and that was actually quite cool. It was actually I felt very empowered, even though I'm not even in the Broadway world.
Yeah, it's changing. So especially for Hamilton, Lin-Manuel has openly said that we want to cast it to reflect today's society, and so they do try to cast every ethnicity. And also they have in the industry they have something called BME casting, Black, Asian, and minority ethnicities. And recently there was a whole drama. If you want to look it up, it's on thestage.co.uk where an agent, I don't know her name, but there was an agent who expressed I don't know what I don't know what I would call it, but negativity about how all the castings are calling for BAME.
I mean, it's the same. Recently, who was the writer? This really famous writer. So Penguin, right? You know Penguin, the publisher.
Yeah.
They basically openly say, "Hey, we're gonna try to publish more works by minorities, by ethnic minorities." And they openly said it, and they were publishing. They started to publish things from BME writers. And then the writer, there was this an incredible shitstorm, because she was like, "Oh no, it's not meritocratic anymore. You're favoring ethnicity over quality in her words." And I mean, whatever you mean.
I know how it can come across to some that people are getting jobs because of their race.
But it's not that, though.
But it's not. It's easily misunderstood as that. So for example, So, for example, in the Vietnam War, during the actual Vietnam War, because of socio-economic situations, a lot of the GIs do tend to be black.
Yeah.
But then, the problem with our industry is that there are not as many black people in the industry as there are white. And so, yes, although on Saigon we try to cast accurately, it's still not a majority black cast, even though historically it is. So we don't cast, otherwise we would just pick any person that fits it ethnically and then we put it in the show. And it can't, especially for a Claude Michel show where the harmonies are all quite, and if you can't sing it, you can't sing it. And then they would just...
I think that's the added difficulty when trying to cast a musical, right? It's like, you gotta sing, you gotta dance, and act. The combination of the three.
It's a bit more... It might be different in Singapore now. I haven't worked in Singapore for a while. But back when I did, things were still quite separate, understandably so, we don't have the resources to pump into educating people to be triple threats yet. And people, because we value academics so much, people don't have the chance to really develop this. And so there aren't many people who can do all three.
How many of your castmates, let's say in Aladdin or now in Miss Saigon, graduated with like a BFA or something? MFA?
Most of them from the UK do.
Oh, impressive.
Our third cover, is she third cover?
Mm.
Yeah, she's the third. Our third cover, Kim Tao Wen, she's born in London, but I don't think she has a degree in musical theatre, but she's covering Kim. But other than that, most other people who are based out of UK do have some sort of professional training. A lot of people who are based or from another country outside of Europe, because in Asia it's not such a big thing. I don't think many of them have had official training.
Interesting.
I mean, needless to say, there are a lot of Pinoys in the cast. And a lot of, from what I hear, it might not be true that there isn't a lot of proper vocational training for musical theatre.
I mean,
undeniably, they have great singers.
Outside of the UK and probably the US, it's not really any.
No.
I mean, even go to like Germany and
no, actually, Germany is surprisingly well supported. The arts are very heavily subsidized in Germany, and yes. When I was doing the research, it was mostly in contemporary dance. But actually, Germany also has a strong musical theatre scene. It's different from UK because in UK it's all congregated in London and then we do tours. But then in Germany, there's like a big show in every part of Germany.
Oh, is it?
So Hamburg has quite a few. Hamburg has...
I like how you say Hamburg, not Hamburg. Nice.
Hamburg. I'm from America. No. Hamburg. I'm a little bit drunk, guys. If I offend anyone, I'm sorry. They have Aladdin and Lion King over there. Then you have Bochum, which has Starlight Express. And I think The Hunchback of Notre Dame just opened in...
That's a musical? I never knew there was a musical.
And I have no idea what... I think there's two different versions. My friend danced in one. There's I do the acro track in Miss Saigon and my friend's in the acro track. So apparently there's like a really heavy acro track in...
But Hunchback of Notre Dame? The Hunchback's flipping up.
No, not the Hunchback himself, but there's a part where there's flies across the... there's a part where he climbs up walls and everything.
I remember that part from the cartoon actually, but... That's
I don't know which one's the Disney version and which one's not. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm horrible with my musical theatre knowledge.
So you edited for a year, and then was there a gap to Miss Saigon or were you
auditioning? There was actually an overlap.
Oh, was it overlap? How did you... And so, was touring, no? So how...
No, so the rehearsals were in London.
So you were rehearsing...
So there was a 4-week overlap.
4 weeks? So you would rehearse in a day...
I would rehearse in day, and then I would leave early to go and do the show at night. It was very tiring because you would turn up at 10 a.m. for rehearsals, absorb all that information, and then rehearsals finish at 6, but I have to be at warm-up by 6, and so I need dinner. And also it wasn't exactly in the center of town and Aladdin was, so I needed time to travel, so I would leave around 4:30, rush to Soho, grab some form of dinner, warm up, and then do Aladdin at night, and go home and sleep.
Do you ever forget your lines on stage? Yes, right. Okay, I was gonna... That's one thing I always wondered when you look at an ensemble, like how many of them are actually singing, how many of them are like okay.
There was a period, I don't know whether I'm supposed to say this, but I'm sorry, Disney. So there's a number called Babkak Omar Aladdin Kasim.
Okay.
And there was just one part where there's a dance break where I just kept forgetting the lines. Even though I had done the show for 6 months, but then it's because I questioned myself.
Yeah.
And
was it in English or another language?
It's in English.
Okay.
But then because you have done it so long, you run on autopilot, and the moment you question yourself,
you go like
you suddenly don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then it happened for the next 3 days. And I was like, what is it? And then the thing is, when I ask around the cast, like, what's the line? They're like, I have no idea. They can sing it on stage out of,
because you just go,
you know, but then you tell them you ask them out of context. It's like, no idea. It's the same with Saigon now. When we've done the show, I've done the show for a year now, so sometimes we do rehearsals to clean it up.
Yeah.
And then they would say, start from this. I'm like, start from where? What do we do here? I don't remember. I can't do it out of context.
In order to get the timing, so I think one of the key things about like professional theatre is that timing is sharp, right? Do they actually use a stopwatch and time it and make sure that you're at this?
No, our MDs, well, musical director or conductor, it's just they're just really they're just really good at timing it.
Interesting.
You know, and also most of they are quite. They look at you more often than you think.
Yeah.
Because they, if for example, if it's a dancey number and you're struggling with the timing, if it's too slow or you're too fast, they can see that you're struggling with it. Or if it's a singing number, if it's too fast,
they can hear it.
They can hear, like, for example, in Kim and Engineer, after the paragraph, are you waiting for them to kill me? And they came in, are you waiting for them to kill me, anyone? And then you just don't get the lines. And then they're like, okay, let's slow it down a little bit. So and to be honest, even though we try and keep it the same within every conductor, there's always differences. With one of the first MD for the tour for Saigon was like, whenever there was a new conductor on, because you need covers, he's like, so Matt or Jim, there are different conductors, so things will be different, and you need to respond accordingly. You need to respect their creative choice. So so it's very minute differences. Like some part the conductor will just pull it slightly longer, and some parts they just want to give it more energy and they push the tempo.
Wait, so there was an overlap of 4 weeks.
I think 4 weeks.
And then did yours
double pay?
so I was gonna ask. Well, okay. Well, I guess got it. But wait. So then you left Aladdin. Someone took over from you, I guess. You left the Aladdin cast, and then you just did yours start in Miss Saigon in London, and then the tour started, or was it on the road?
We finished rehearsing it in London. Then we did previews in Leicester.
Leicester, okay.
Yeah, because Miss Saigon was already in Central. Actually, with where Aladdin is now, it used to be Miss Saigon. It was there for 2.5 years, or was it 1.5 years?
And Aladdin's been there for like 2 years now as well. So
it's now starting its third year
now, right?
So Miss Saigon had already done its run in town. So this was the tour outside of London.
Oh, interesting.
So we started in Leicester, and then we had our official press night in Birmingham.
Okay.
And then since then we've been to Dublin, Cardiff, Edinburgh, Southampton, Bristol, Manchester.
Some places are nicer than others.
No comment.
Wait, so how long do you stay there? 6 weeks usually to run? No, it's way shorter than that.
So it's anything from 4 to 9 weeks. But
9 weeks?
So we had 9 weeks in Birmingham, but that's because we were still refining the show.
Yeah, and it's a huge city as well.
It's a huge city, and also, and to be honest, most tours don't last 4 to 9 weeks.
Yeah.
But because
it tapers down towards the end.
And no, it's just because Miss Saigon has such a huge set.
Yeah.
To transport, it's just not worth it to perform for anything less than 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So we have a fucking helicopter that they need to transport.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
So, from what I heard, it takes 20 huge trucks to transfer the set. And I mean, kudos to the crew. There are some venues where we don't get a week off.
Yeah.
And so we would finish the last one Saturday night. they would work round the clock, and they'll get it to the new venue by Monday.
So you strike, get it out.
They'll strike, pack everything, and it's like Tetris. Everything has to fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
And they will work round the clock, fit everything into 20 trucks, move it to the next venue, unpack it, set everything up just in time for the full dress on Wednesday. So that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days. To tear. And the thing is, it's not a small set. Even the floor is.
Oh, so you actually brought your own floor.
Yeah. So for example, I don't know whether it's always the case.
Because you're doing a lot of acrobatics, I guess, right? So
it's not that. It's automation.
Oh, is it like Hamilton where the stage is rotating? And...
Our stage doesn't rotate, but there's like there are two structures at the side, which are inspired by tenement buildings during the Vietnam War that they move on and off, and then you have blinders and you have gauze that move, and they have tracks in the floor for that, and then you have the helicopter that has tracks on the floor for that, and then also because it's such a lighting design is such that it needs constant slight haze.
Okay.
So I think there's even from the floor there's haze pumping all the time, and so you can't use an existing stage. Okay. So they transport the actual stage.
Is it more difficult for the cast to do a touring show than a? I mean, there are more breaks in between, I guess, because it's not like when you're in London. When you're a resident, it's like.
There are pros and cons.
Okay.
When I was in West End, it was fabulous. Work in the middle of Soho.
Yeah, I mean, it's
literally
like fabulous, right? I mean,
yeah, it is. It's not great for the wallet. You're like, hey, shall we go for a drink after the show? Sure, £15 a drink. Oh fuck. But but it's nice to be in the middle of it all, and then your friends are all there, and and there's a certain routine you get into, and you can go to one gym. You can meet this friend all the time. You can date.
Yeah.
But then on tour, you can't really date.
Yeah.
It's difficult. You're constantly changing cities, and then you're constantly getting to know new cities. You don't really have unless you're from that area. You don't really have people to hang out with except from the company. And the company is great, but sometimes you just want external influences.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 30 of you in the cast after all.
But I think it's about 100 of the company.
Everyone.
Yeah. Because you have the orchestra, you have the crew, you have lights, sound, automation, wigs, costume. It's a big team. Then you have the company manager and all that. So and the stage management. So it's a pretty huge company.
Yeah.
But this is Saigon, and ChemMac Productions are known to be quite big. So I don't know what it's like for other production companies. Might be the same, might not be.
So I guess it's more boring when you're on the road.
No, because you're dealing, especially for Saigon, because it is such a nuanced production.
Yeah.
You have to adapt. There's a lot of quiet moments in the show. And I didn't used to believe this until I went on for engineer, but how the auditorium is structured really affects the way you perform.
Yeah.
So there's always and then the stage is always slightly different. So when you get to a new venue, things will be in a different place. In Southampton, all the quick change area was on stage right, but usually it's boys on stage left and girls on stage right. Sometimes wigs is on the upper floors of dressing room, and then in Bristol it was downstairs, and so there's a lot. You spend the first 2 weeks just getting used to the venue, and it's kind of fun because all these places I would not have gone. I mean, I spent 4 years in London, and I had never been to any part of UK except for Edinburgh.
Okay.
And then suddenly, it was just over Christmas.
Okay.
Because people took pity that I wasn't spending my Christmas with family.
And I'm like, come to Edinburgh.
Yeah, I mean,
exciting.
It's not
Christmas
a big deal.
town.
We don't really celebrate Christmas in my family, so it wasn't a big deal. But I was like, sure, I'll come. So it's great fun exploring all these cities and adjusting to different stages, and how the auditorium is set affects the way you perform. Yeah. And it's really interesting, actually.
Have your parents ever seen your performances?
They have.
Okay, you flew them up, or?
Yeah, they came to visit me in Dublin.
Okay. Oh, so they watched the one in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did they watch Aladdin?
Yes, they did as well.
Okay. So they came up twice, I guess, over the last.
Yeah, so they came up for my graduation back in 2016.
Okay.
Except I wasn't graduating, I was doing the show, but I did.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave me a day off to
Yeah.
go and graduate.
Yeah.
So my family, because my parents didn't see me in college for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, nice to see me graduate.
Yeah.
I mean, the arts is something quite foreign to them, but I think regardless, they were like,
but it's cool
He's
to
got a
see your
degree.
son, and to see your son on stage as well is cool.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's no, like I said, it's quite foreign to them. I
Yeah.
don't think they know
Yeah.
the significance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think they know it's harder to get into a music,
Really?
into a
Yeah.
production than to get into Oxford. I don't think they know that.
Okay.
But, you know, it's not their thing, so I don't blame them for
Yeah.
it. I mean, they supported me for my 3 years of college. What am I
Yeah,
supposed to
fair.
say?
I would think it's super cool, but yeah, I mean, I've had the benefits of like, sort of, art education or whatever.
Yeah,
that
and
is.
from what I heard, Miss
Yeah.
Low, one of my dance teacher, Miss Low Mayo, she was telling us about how she was hiding the fact that she was a dancer from her parents, because back in her time, being a dancer is quite a...
Yeah. It's hiding that you're gay or something. Right?
It's not that, but it's
Yeah.
just, it's a very
No, I know what you mean.
peasanty job. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if people compare it, because you are performing for people,
It's like being an actor in Victorian times. When
yeah,
it's
but
not-
people look
Yeah.
down on it. It's
Yeah.
like the peasant's job,
Yeah.
people who are poor.
Yeah.
Ironically, to be a dancer, let's say in ballet, you need a lot of money to buy point shoes, for example. But, you know, just in their era, it was just not really a recognized job. It was something that people had to do if they needed money rather than a job.
Hello again. I hope you enjoyed this part of our conversation. Still one more part to go, and as always, let me know what you think about this. And again, I want to know, have you learned from this conversation or not? See you in the next video.